Hello, my quilting friends. This week I'm in a sort of contemplative mood, maybe because we're coming up on the end of the year and the holidays are upon us, and I've been thinking about what makes quilting so enjoyable for me and for so many, and why are some people drawn to crafting things with their hands and others aren't, and what do those poor people do who don't have a hobby to fill their time? I'm currently working on a table runner made from a quilt pattern that I got from one of the Missouri Star videos. I just took the pattern and I'm making just one row to make a table runner out of it. And I found this beautiful charm pack at my local quilt shop, and it's called Belle Isle from Moda. And so I wanted to make something quick that I could get up on the quilt frame for some practice. If it turns out okay, it'll make a nice Christmas gift for someone. So I thought I'd take you along with me as I work. So I know quilting has its roots in the practical. Making a product that you can use, keep yourself warm, and at the same time decorate your home. And when we're more focused on the end result, we just want to get it done quickly as possible. And I think maybe because I grew up rather poor and I was always drawn to the idea that I could take some basic supplies and make something for myself that I might not otherwise be able to afford. Um, and in high school, I made some of my own clothes. And I was always drawn to any kind of a crafty sort of hobby. But now I approach it a little differently just because I can. Over the years, I have, more money that I can spend on things that I like. Um, but instead of trying to crank out as many projects as I can, I just putter along and let myself enjoy the process of crafting. I've mentioned previously in some of my other videos that I've recently been giving some serious thought to retiring from teaching, and so I've been watching a lot of videos, you know how you do, about retirement, the pros and the cons, and how to prepare and what to expect and all that. And one of the things that came up in one of the videos that I thought was kind of funny is that some people are surprised that they suddenly don't know how to fill their time. And when I heard that, I thought, what? Don't they have hobbies? Because how to fill my time is the last thing I'm worried about when it comes to retirement. But I guess some people just don't know what to do with themselves when they've got free time. But I think about all the retreats and festivals that I can go to that I've always missed out on, because of work. But so that brings me to another thing that I've been thinking about, and that's all the money that we as quilters spend on our hobby, and also the whole sustainability issue. I saw a documentary recently about the amount of textile waste that is filling up the landfills around the world. Apparently, a lot of the clothing that we donate to charities, if it's not sellable, it ends up in landfills. And I know that, quilting absolutely can be done and done beautifully on a very minimal budget using just the basic supplies and leftover clothing. That's really how it started. But in all fairness, it's hard not to be drawn to all the beautiful new fabrics that are out there. And, I'm as guilty as anybody about going out and spending money on, new gadgets and tools that maybe I don't need. But, that will make the work easier, more efficient. And I'm not consistent, I guess, one way or the other. Sometimes I'm really frugal, sometimes I'm not. For example, I'm still using this ironing pad that I made for myself out of recycled material, and this 30-year-old travel iron I use for my piecing, because they work. There's nothing wrong with them. But on the other hand, I went and spent a ridiculous amount of money on a personalized pattern holder from Etsy, just because it's pink and it's made by Lori Holt, and I thought it was cute. So, I am both ends of the spectrum, I guess. But I've kind of made up my mind. I know, famous last words, but I've kind of made up my mind to not buy any new fabric this next year unless it's needed for a specific project that I'm working on. Like, I'm not, we as quilters are so guilty of, you see something and it's so pretty, you just have to have it, even though you have no idea what you're going to do with it. I'm going to try to stop doing that. And I want to try to start incorporating like old clothing into some of the projects that I make. And the reason I got to that is right after watching that video, my husband went through his closet and he pulled out a bunch of old dress shirts that he never wears anymore. And they've had a lot of wear. And so before I let him take them off to the Goodwill, I went through them and picked out the ones that I felt pretty sure the thrift store would not be able to sell and would therefore end up maybe as textile waste. And I pulled those aside, and I'm going to, if I can't like repurpose them in some way, I'm probably going to cut them up and make like put them in my scrap drawer of fabric, cut them into shapes that I can use for quilting, and start incorporating those into my quilting projects so that I'm not wasting things or not creating things that are going to end up in a landfill. I don't know, we'll see how that goes, but that's where my thoughts have been this week, and I thought I would share that with you while I work on this little table runner. I'm thinking that it turned out fairly well, so I think it's going to get wrapped up as a Christmas gift for a favorite aunt of mine. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.